Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to the Aleph Podcast. आज मेरे साथ हैं Faisal GIll, who you might know from Capa. Many musicians have attended that institute and jammed there, worked there, learned from there. How are you, sir?
Very good, alhamdulillah.
Welcome.
Thank you for inviting me.
No, absolutely. And I mean, you're someone जिसका नाम मतलब हम musicians में बात होती रहती है लेकिन मिलने को इतने नहीं मिलते.
You are the daredevil. लेकिन I'm happy, you know, like बातें तो होती हैं लेकिन एक्शन जो लेने वाला आदमी होता है ना वो he always prevails. I think you are the action man here. So, yeah.
No, and so are you. I mean, that what you're doing with Capa is unique, and I know of many people who've benefited from going there and stuff. So, but उस पे आएंगे. पहले बात शुरू से करते हैं कि what inspired you to pursue music, and I know you know many instruments. Where did it all begin for you?
So I think I was about 5 or 6 years old when my mamu gave me a headphone and a Walkman. It has 12 tracks, and I used to listen to it, and for me that was magic. For the first time, in my ears, nobody was being bothered, and I was listening to it over and over again. It was magic, but as soon as I wanted to learn the magic, because I realized that ये तो मुझे नहीं छोड़ेगा. It's kind of taking over my life, my emotions, my everything. When I wanted to learn how to control my emotions myself, learn an instrument or whatever, I found it very difficult. My parents were completely against it. अम्मी अब्बू ने बोला बेटा तुमने ये करना है तो तुम्हें घर छोड़ना पड़ेगा वरना तो तुम ये काम नहीं कर सकते. My father used to lock everything up. कोई अगर म्यूजिक की चीज़ है तो वो भी बंद कर दी, कोई गिटार है तो वो भी छुपाना पड़ता था वरना he wouldn't give it back. My mother was like बेटा ये हमारे खानदान में ये नहीं चल सकता ये तो इसको छोड़ दो और पढ़ाई की तरफ ध्यान दो.
अब उसकी मतलब were they concerned के मतलब क्योंकि म्यूजिक इज ऑब्वियसली डिफिकल्ट टू अर्न मनी फ्रॉम उनका कंसर्न इस तरफ था या वो वाज इट अ रिलीजियस काइंड ऑफ थिंग और
वी वर वेल ऑफ. माय फादर माय एंटायर फैमिली वी वर प्रीटी वेल ऑफ. देयर वर थिंग्स ये गुनाह होता है और कानों में सीसा डालते हैं और सांप बिच्छू मारते हैं और ये वो करते हैं. सो या प्लेसिबो रिलीजन बट खैर दैट काइंड ऑफ स्टॉप मी फ्रॉम व्हाट आई वांट टू डू एंड आई हैड टू फाइंड other means to do it,
right.
Like hiding the guitar at my friend's house या कहीं और छुपा के रखा हो, बताना पढ़ने जा रहा हूँ पढ़ना नहीं है और खुद ही करना है. Then being on my own for a longer period of time because I realized कि ये तो भाई घर वाले तो नहीं मानेंगे इस काम को, तो खुद ही बस छुपा के किया. फिर उसके बाद मतलब hiding from them I had to go out, so I went to England to study, also do music, and over there I realized कि यार ये तो मैं तो बहुत खतरनाक म्यूजिशियन होता था. ये तो लोग सीरियस हो गए मेरे बारे में, मुझे तो घर वाले तो बेचारे को समझते नहीं थे. So I'm like making headlines over there. I was playing in 4 different clubs there, with 4 different bands उधर के.
So you literally went there to study music?
No, I literally went there as a scholarship student.
Okay.
But that was just
the
side
cover
plan, yeah. The actual reason was मतलब वो तो 12-1 बजे 2 बजे खत्म हो जाता है स्कूल. उसके बाद फिर जाओ और जाके go to the music store, see what they have.
And this is in London or?
This is in London.
Yeah.
So I was living initially I was living in central London, then I moved to Ilford.
Yeah.
Because of dentals and everything are cheaper, and food is cheaper, living is cheaper.
Bilkul.
I started working as well there, and for about couple of years, 3 years, I was good.
Yeah.
Unless they wanted me to come back and help my father with the business. So I came back, realized I'm in the same bubble.
Yeah.
I got married. कि नहीं अब तो भाई शादी करके मैं कोई और काम करूँगा, मैं म्यूजिक बजाऊंगा. यार ये क्या साइंस है. तो I got married. I realized that my wife also blackmailed me. She hid my child कि नहीं भाई बच्चा नहीं मिलने दूंगी, पहले म्यूजिक छोड़ो.
Oh wow.
क्या यार
tough.
मतलब पहले तो मैं घर वालों को से लड़ता रहा एक जंग कि भाई म्यूजिक बजानी है, फिर यहाँ पे बेगम शुरू हो गई है कि बच्चा नहीं मिलने दूंगी, म्यूजिक छोड़ो. तो बहरहाल so this is going to be a controversial thing by the way, but let it be.
No, it is what it is, no?
No, let it be because I think it needs to be heard.
Yeah.
तो उन्होंने कहा म्यूजिक छोड़ोगे तो बच्चा मिलने देंगे और बच्चा नहीं मिलेगा वरना. तो हफ्ता गुजरा, 2 हफ्ते गुजरे, then I was like that's it. I packed up my stuff, put it in a warehouse and found a small school एक उसमें वो शेड होता है जो जैसे नहीं होता 7 quarter टाइप शेड होता है. So I moved in there. I lived there for 2 years on my own.
Wow.
And yeah, then...
And you didn't see your child?
No, I didn't see my child. And I was like, every night, every day, every moment of my life, I was craving for, like, to get to him. It's been 14 years since I met him. Lekin ye ke, for the pain never lost. So yeah. उसके बाद फिर मैंने ये सब कुछ हो गया तो मैंने रियलाइज़ किया कि भाई अब मुझे ना और बच्चों पे काम करना चाहिए. मेरा बच्चा तो गया हाथ से. Let other children of the same age or maybe whatever age, I should start working with them and give them all the tools which I need to make them stronger. So they don't feel that what they're doing is going to be the way I suffered. They shouldn't suffer. So yeah, that's the reason why I started teaching. Then I got Capa, and that's the story so far.
Yeah, I mean that's really मुझे अंदर से कुछ हो रहा है.
नहीं बस
saying that,
ये सच जो होता है ना वो लगता है जाके.
बिल्कुल.
अगर समझ आए तो.
बिल्कुल. But खैर, just stepping back a little bit, around what year was it when you were in England?
So I was in 97. I went there, and I stayed there till 99.
Yeah.
And I came back in 2000.
So how was the experience then? Playing music with people there and playing in clubs and stuff.
My experience of just going over there was mind blowing. एक दिन ऐसे मैं जा रहा था and like I'm talking about Ilford because when I was studying, then the focus was just to go around the shops and see what people are doing and then go back and study. I always was a good student. तो वो बस पढ़ाई की तरफ ज़्यादा ध्यान था मेरा. मुझे ये भी था कि यार स्कॉलरशिप है तो वो मेंटेन रखें काम. ये ना हो कि किसी दिन बोलेंगे भाई ये तो you are not doing well so you have to pay. जब मैं वहाँ से मेरा ग्रेजुएशन हो गया तो आई देन मूव टू इल्फर्ड. उधर it was a different game. मतलब in the sense कि I initially paid a month rent to move in. पर एक दिन मैं वहाँ पे जा रहा था तो घर में से आवाज़ आई थी गिटार की. So I rang the bell. मैं who is playing? So that guy who was playing came down. He's like, I'm playing. Who are you? And where are you from? And being a brown man and the Goras and like the two different religions, I was like, yeah, I also learned how to play the guitar. And you play the guitar. You play so well. Can I come and see what you're doing? So he called me in. He showed me his things. Then I started playing. And he was like, would you teach me? मैंने कहा only in one condition. If you let me live in your house. So I moved into his house the next day. And I was in his house for almost 2 years.
Wow.
उनके जो उसके अब्बू थे उसका नाम जिम था. In fact अभी मेरी बात होती है उससे कभी कभार. तो जिम जो था वो I was his brother.
Right.
He had 2 other sisters. Yeah. And he was the only one who was living in the house. Then his father adopted me. His name was James. So he adopted me, James Mitchell. Yeah. He adopted me and we lived in the same house for 2 years. And we played like crazy. Was
the father also a musician?
No, the father was a supporter.
Wow.
He was like, I have dreams about you. Okay. Actually, the son was dysfunctional. But in a lot of ways, he was not really doing very well. He was on dole money. Yeah. And his father wanted to like get him to be with somebody who actually will make him more functional. Yeah. So the first step was to teach him how to play the guitar. Yeah. Then the second step was to take him to the shows or the pubs. The pubs में जाके ये होता था live music. Take him to the pubs and play. तो ऐसा उसने देखा कि बाप ने ये बच्चा तो घर से निकल रहा है, ये बच्चा तो कमरे से निकल के बाहर चला गया है और ये जाके बजाना शुरू कर दिया इसने और लोगों से हैंग आउट कर रहा है और ही इज सोशली गेटिंग बेटर. सो हिज इम्प्रूवमेंट got him to realize that this guy is what I need in his life. So that's how it worked in the beginning.
So I guess that your first experience where you realized that teaching music can help people engage?
No, I was too lost in my own self, and the music was just do music. I mean, उस वक्त मुझे हो भी रहा होगा ये शायद कहीं back of my mind, but never really took it seriously. That it's therapeutic and it actually helps people to be more functional. Like at that time, it was just music. It was nothing else. I was getting good money. So in the sense that, wherever I used to play, they used to give me tip money, जो होती है टेबल के ऊपर रख देते हैं. फिर ऐसा जब bands एक के बजाय 4 हो गए, फिर I started getting paid from the pubs.
Right.
So it was good. Life was good. I was doing very well. But the family said, stepped in and they're like, now it's enough. You have done your degree. Now it's time to come back.
Yeah.
And मैंने अभी तो शुरू किया. मैंने कहा अभी कहाँ से come back? No, फिर जो story होती है जो
blackmailing.
हाँ, जो इमोशनल आपको ड्रेन करे होते हैं कि नहीं तुम्हारी माँ हूँ मैं और तुम्हें मैंने ये और वो, तो फिर बाप भी या माँ भी.
Do you have brothers and sisters?
I'm the eldest. So that's the reason why they were like hard
Example
on me.
भी.
हाँ, कि बच्चों को क्या सिखा रहे हो तुम, तुम्हारे पीछे वो सब यही करेंगे. तो मैं कहा यार ये तो काम बाकी बैड है, तो फिर I need to find another avenue.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I came back, and as soon as I'm back I realized I'm effed. There is no going back. And I mean, even if I go back, right, it wouldn't be the same, because वो वाली बात है कि एक चीज़ जब आपने ख़त्म कर ली और फिर आप गए, फिर उसके बाद आप दोबारा जाओ, फिर उसके बाद like it was a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah.
And I'm the kind of person, when I'm I focus on that हमेशा. तो इधर भी आया तो my father was in a business lurch, and I had to help him to get him out of that. And I did that for about two years. I helped him in his business. But just like all fathers, one day he's like, "Beta, I don't need your help. I can do it myself." मैं कहा अच्छा, तो मतलब मुझे बुलाया क्यों था? What about my life over there? Now it's too late.
Yeah.
Now sort yourself out.
Yeah.
So the easier way at that point was to just cut off from everyone and just be yourself, whoever you are. So my thing was, I was not really talking, not communicative. And initially somebody came in my life, made me feel good, and I got married. And then the rest of the story I told you.
Yeah. So, I mean, jumping forward then to when you decided how did Capa come about? Like, was there a period where you were searching to be able to do something like that and then eventually landed upon it? Yeah, it just happened.
No, actually what happened was that when I left my business, I was doing business at that time, around 2008. I went to Germany. I stayed there for a year. I came back, made a band, took them back. We performed.
This is when Aziz was also...
Yeah, Aziz and Jasser and the Sindhi boys. So we went to Germany. We played over there, the House of World Cultures. It was a huge event in the sense that I was in the national TV, I was in the national news, my posters was all over the street, I was playing in every possible club and pub over there. And every live playing avenue, I was there and performing.
And so you're performing... Achha, I forgot to ask, even when you were playing in England and now in Germany, what instrument were you playing?
So in England, I was primarily playing the guitar. And guitar is my main instrument. I mean, I started off with guitar and then I remained with guitar for the longest period of my time. But when I went to Germany, उस वक्त मुझे realize हुआ कि खाली guitar से नहीं काम होता भाई, तो और भी काम करने हैं आपने. So mandolin, I started taking mandolin. I was into electronic music at that time, so I did a little. उधर उनका एक Yamaha introduced a gadget called Tenorion. And they wanted to do the promotional artist hota hai ki we give you that instrument, you have to perform in front of your live audience. Right. So you can keep it for a year or something. Yeah. So that instrument was there with me for a year. So I sampled, made patterns on this. Then I performed at different places. But I was actually the artist who introduced Tenorion at different places in Germany at that time. तो खैर life, so मैं mandolin बजाता था, फिर मैंने थोड़ा बहुत violin भी इस वक्त बजाना शुरू कर दिया था, guitar भी बजाता था. But my style of playing the guitar was different. I mean, most people say यार ये तो गिटार लगता ही नहीं है. मैंने कहा अच्छा चलो good, I like it. लगता है गिटार नहीं है पर गिटार है, चलो अच्छी बात है.
What were you listening to? मतलब what was inspiring you?
जो listening experience है ना वो भी बड़ा interesting है, क्योंकि मैंने क्या किया कि rather than going to YouTube और इस तरह, I mean we are from like very
पुरानी generation,
ancient times. तो मैं I used to buy records.
Yeah.
And खोड़ी गार्डन में ना दुकानें थी, वहाँ से जाके गए और एक कंधे पे यहाँ पे रखा हुआ, एक कंधे पे यहाँ पे रखा हुआ, उठा के लेकर आ रहे हैं जी. चार किलोमीटर जा रहे हैं उठा के कंधों पे, क्योंकि you can't really take a car over there. There is the transportation.
And how would you pick something to buy? Was it the artwork or knowing about the artist?
Good question. So देखो, the idea was that I told you ना, in the beginning it was such a difficult thing for me to actually listen to music because constant peer pressure. My parents were like, no, it's haram and don't do this. It's going to spoil everyone and ये इनकी शक्लें देखो, इतनी खतरनाक शक्लें, ये तो शैतान है. मतलब वो outright के मतलब this is prohibited. You can't listen to them. तो मैंने बड़ी मुश्किलों से उनको छुपा के अच्छा, how did I know about them? So I didn't know about them. I had to buy them and listen to them. And then realize this is jack, this is crap, this is good. So
did you literally buy anything that was there? Or
I bought everything.
Achha.
मतलब I was making good money, I told you. और मैं इंग्लैंड गया था उधर तो काफी वाले पैसे मेरे पास थे. जब मैं इधर आया तो मतलब इंग्लैंड से पहले भी I used to buy.
पाउंड्स तो रुपए में तो बहुत होते हैं.
बहुत होते हैं. दूसरा एक और बड़ी इंटरेस्टिंग चीज थी which I want people to know.
Yeah.
The devil व्यवसाय होना चाहिए मेरे सर पे. When I was in grade 7, I actually left the school, but I never told my parents.
Oh wow.
That I left the school. The reason why I left the school was because I was a very good sportsman. I was getting them gold medals and cups and I'm talking about school. But I was doing O levels.
Right.
अब O levels में बंदा भाग रहा हो, एथलीट हो, उसको मिल रहे हो, लेकिन मिल रहे हैं वो सारे सिंध एसोसिएशन से, जो सिंध स्पोर्ट बोर्ड है या समझो जो उनका सिंध बोर्ड जो होता है, सिंध बोर्ड तो एक्सेप्ट नहीं कर सकता कि O levels का बच्चा आके काम कर रहा हो. तो मेरा जो सर्टिफिकेशन थी ना वो सारी सिंध बोर्ड से बनती थी. मैं था O levels का. सारा दिन अब इतने पैसे देने के बाद O levels उस जमाने में महंगा था. So I used to come to school, take 2 periods. उसके बाद सर बोलते थे आप आ जाएं बाहर और भागें. सारा दिन भागते रहो यार. मैंने तो हफ्ता हुआ, 2 हफ्ता हुआ, 3 हफ्ता हुआ. मैंने कहा nah, this is not me. I'm not going to run like that. I stopped. Then I stopped going to school. फिर मैं जो तुम्हारी वाली जो कहानी है कि where did I start listening to music? Then I went to Regal. Regal के अंदर नीचे ना एक बेसमेंट थी जहाँ पे सिर्फ कैसेट्स मिलते थे और सीडियाँ मिलती थी. I used to take all my money and like first को जितने पैसे मिलते थे ना घीस के भी और खाने पीने की जाके कैसेट लेकर आ गए और जाके सुनते रहे उनको constantly like 24/7. I was just listening to cassettes and it was really nice because it was a new world. I mean I experienced the band called Voivod, Violence, like John Farnham. I don't know if you know those people. Bangles, Bee Gees, so The Who.
I know Voivod में तो Jason Newsted भी था.
हाँ मतलब ऐसे bands के मैं सोच नहीं सकता. Slayer, Anthrax. तो
heavy चीजें सुन
मैं dark, like serious, like that kind of thing. तो वो कान के अंदर थी चीजें वो. Yngwie Malmsteen is again one of the people I really digged at that time. There were a few people who actually inspired me to pick up the guitar. That is also another story. That when I picked up the guitar, I was not really intending to pick up the guitar. Somebody else was my guitarist. I was a producer.
Right.
Then there was a drummer, and then there was like this singer, and I'm the producer. The guitarist left after 2 days. Like I can't play. This is too hard. Then I just pretended that I'm the guitarist. You know what Mohib? This guy Mohib, who's an actor now?
I think I've heard his name.
He was my drummer.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so that's life. So this is like small world, and
you were the producer before you were the guitar player.
So yeah, I picked up the guitar and everybody left. I had a drum kit, I had like the guitar, I have like this idea, but nobody was there. But the moment I heard the guitar, I was in love. Because मैंने सुना हुआ था सारा म्यूजिक सुना हुआ था. तो जब मैंने गिटार के पास में गया ये तो जिन है, ये कहाँ से आ गया. तो उस वक्त फिर वो सुनना भी शुरू कर दिया मैंने म्यूजिक. Then I started playing it. Then I was not going to school, so I had to find a way to spend my day, which was the Regal under वाला जो ब्रिज था या फिर खोड़ी गार्डन वो वाले थे. किताबें मिलती थी वहाँ से, गिटार की बुक्स भी मिलती थी. वहाँ पे मैगजीन्स होते थे उनके, तो वो बुक्स ले ली, मैगजीन ले लिए, टेक्स्ट बुक्स ले ली म्यूजिक की. पढ़ते रहे, उनको कुछ समझ नहीं आता था. बट आई कैरीड ऑन. आई वाज लाइक कुछ ना कुछ हो रहा है, समझ आ रही है कुछ ना कुछ. But also those were the days, and there was no internet, there was no phone, we don't have any mobile phones. And I think those were good times, because if you're focusing
on
the
best times.
If you want to focus, you focus. If you want to live a certain life, you live a certain life without being distracted. So I think that was my beginning of things. When I was listening to music.
So itni baatein ho gayi, I'm trying to place. So you built up your record collection, right? And
I was always a listener. That was the number one thing. I was never a player.
This is the thing. I mean, when we met, I think Farhan ke yahan, iske jams hote the. Jamro bhi ho raha tha.
Tribal fusion.
Haan, exactly. So I remember like seeing you there, and I'd heard about you before, and then I think like I was jamming with you a couple of times, and this is a thing like you told me then even, that I'm listening.
I'm always listening. I rather just listen and not play anything.
Yeah. So, but then, did you have any did you form any bands after that? Like, you talk about the Germany thing.
नहीं, इधर लोकल भी काफी बैंड्स है. But in fact सारे क्रिश्चियन बैंड के अंदर मैं बजाया हुआ है. This Raz Mataz band. उसमें Alan was his bass player. Then Bobby, अभी रिसेंटली पता लगा बॉबी जो है वो दुबई में है और वहाँ पे किसी एक बंदे के साथ गाता भी है वो.
अच्छा.
So Bobby, Alan, then there was this Gerald was a bass player,
Yeah.
and then this guy who plays the drums, he was also a co-purser, air purser. So yeah, we played at different churches, we played at different places. We had a set list of songs. PACC में बजाया, फिर खुरम के साथ बजाया. खुरम के साथ मेरा बैंड था, उसमें आरो जो फारूक वोकलिस्ट है वो ड्रमर था. He was also my student at one point where he was learning how to understand the guitar right.
Achha.
And then at the same time he was dabbling with vocals. He was actually just like me, you know.
Yeah.
उसने मुझे बहुत इंस्पायर किया. अगर एक बंदे ने मुझे वाकई इंस्पायर किया तो वो खुर्रम और फारूक हैं. फारूक used to give me the book. ये लो. नहीं ये क्या है? ये करके दिखाओ. मैं है ये क्या करके दिखाओ? ये टैब्स हैं. एक हफ्ते बाद हम बजाएंगे ये. मैंने कहा यार ये क्या कर रहा है? टैब लेके घर चले गए. एक हफ्ते बजाते रहे. एक हफ्ते बाद गए और जैम शुरू कर दिया.
Nice.
And I used to be like, you know, and we started playing different places, concerts वगैरह में इधर उधर.
Yeah.
फिर नबील आया था. नबील जो अभी जो हाँ नबील निहाल हाँ. He and we were playing together.
Yeah.
मेरे साथ एक इशू है जो अभी भी है. I don't play the same thing again. If I play it once, I don't want to do it again. If you ask me to do the same solo again, do it yourself, man. I'm not interested. That happened over there.
There's a jazz spirit in you.
पता नहीं वो उसने बोला कि आपने दोबारा बजाना है. मैंने कहा impossible. I've done it once. I can't do it again.
Yeah.
मतलब मैं नहीं कर सकता. मैं शायद inability समझ लो या शायद lack of I don't feel interested. Yeah, interest ही नहीं है. ये है दोबारा वही चीज़ बजानी है. तो मैंने मना कर दिया. मैंने कहा मैं ये नहीं कर सकता. फिर वो नबील आ गया. नबील was actually आरो के पहले गिटारिस्ट मैं था. फिर नबील था. फिर वो एक और दूसरा लड़का था. वो आता बेचारे की डेथ हो गई उसकी. लेकिन मैंने मना कर दिया था. मैंने कहा ये काम मैं नहीं कर सकता. ये जो
repetition वाला.
हाँ. So I would rather just be open and just play whatever I feel like.
Yeah. So do you think that like that limited your kind of commercial opportunities with music?
See, after I realized that it does magic on me, I was never looking at commercial viability of this thing. But in the sense that I was more interested in jamming.
Do it, हाँ.
Jamming. I need to jam. I need to have fun. So होता ये था उस ज़माने में फ़ोन किया यार हाँ जैम करना है. वो इधर आया जैम करना है. 4 लोग आए जैम करना है. फिर एक बंदा था उम्मीद अंसारी. That guy, he's from Four Thoughts. He's a drummer from Four Thoughts. He's also a beautiful guy. One of the most kindest man I know. मतलब उसके घर पे हमने इतने जैम किए कि शायद मतलब ये जितने भी लड़के हैं ना, they learn more from those jams than anywhere else I think, because we all used to go over to his house, and he used to like, he's a drummer, so he had very beautiful drum kit, and I put my amps there and everything. और वो कभी मना नहीं करता था. तो सैटरडे को चले गए, संडे को चले गए, सारा दिन जैम कर रहे हैं. तो काफ़ी जैम किया उसने. बड़ा हम लोगों को सपोर्ट किया, इंस्पायर किया, मोटिवेट किया. फिर उसके 2 साल थे. दे यूज्ड टू लाइक बक अप, वेरी गुड यार, यू गाइस आर डूइंग वेरी वेल. एंड आई मीन आई नेवर न्यू दैट. यहाँ पे लोकल तो मैं पता है यहाँ पे क्रिटिसिज्म ज़्यादा था, स्पेशली वेयर आई एम कमिंग फ्रॉम. आई ऑलवेज थॉट म्यूजिक इज अ वाइस, यू नो, लाइक आई वाज स्केयर्ड ऑफ म्यूजिक. ये हराम है. मुझे तो पता नहीं है, लेकिन ये लोग तो यही कहते हैं हराम है. मे बी आई डोंट नो दैट. सो या
सो आई मीन एक्चुअली इस पे बात भी आई थिंक बनती है. Like, so did you later explore that question? Did you go into the texts and the Quran, etc.? And like, what is your takeaway from that?
Imagine all of your life you've been stabbed by the same knife.
Yeah.
Don't you want to know who's the killer?
Of course.
समझ आती है? So I found the real killer then. And the real killer is not the Quran. The real killer is not the God. The real killer are those people who don't want you to grow. Intellectually. Those are the killers. They are killing you every day.
Yeah.
I mean, Abhi, the real killers are not the book or the people who follow the book. The real killers are those who exploit it to the point where they become, you know, like an impediment in your growth. And I've realized that over so many, because they have music. देखो, एक आयत है. I think I should quote it. It goes like Aleph Lam Mim. ज़ालिकल किताबुल ला रैब फ़ीह हुदल्लिल मुत्तकीन लज़ीना, जो गाइड करती है उनको जो सवाल करते हैं, तकवा रखते हैं, मुत्तकीन लज़ीना युमिनूना बिल गैब, जो ईमान रखते हैं जो चीज़ नज़र नहीं आती. अब मुझे ये बताओ, ईमान कैसे रख सकता है किसी कोई चीज़ पे जो नज़र नहीं आती हो, जब तक उसका कोई एक्सपीरियंस ना करे. द ओनली थिंग यू कैन एक्सपीरियंस व्हिच यू कांट सी इज म्यूजिक. ईमान कैसे रख सकता है इंसान उस चीज़ पे जो नज़र नहीं आती हो, जब तक उसको समझे ना. तो कुरान को एक जगह देखा जाए तो वो बोल रहा है ईमान रखो उस चीज़ पे जो नज़र नहीं आती हो. अरे मौलवी बोल रहा है कि ये तो हराम है. नहीं, जो नज़र नहीं आती वो हराम है. नमाज नज़र आती है तो हलाल है. जो चीज़ नज़र आती है, दाढ़ी नज़र आती है तो हलाल है. दिल में तकवा है तो हराम है. सवाल है तो हराम है. तो the thing is, God is not in your actions. God is in your intention. So I do music. I still do music, but I do music to heal people, to make them more functional.
Yeah.
So मैंने तो उसका बिल्कुल ही एक मैंने जो
और ये एक चीज़ है मतलब because everything is on science level vibration ही तो हम भी vibration
बिल्कुल ऐसे
चल रहे हैं, right? So music has the power to both heal and to destroy.
Absolutely.
So ये अब मुझे चीज़ बहुत important लगती है, especially in nowadays, कि the most promoted or commercially popular music tends to be music that has, you know, negative lyrics or bad messaging or you know, promoting.
The Quran says that very clearly, and I'm bringing Quran bar because I think that was probably the most amazing book that guided me whatever I'm doing right now. He said कि शैतान अल्लाह से बोलता है कि ये जो तुमने पैदा किया है ये अपने हाथों से जो नेमतें तुमने इनको दी हैं तबाह करेगा. तो उनको नेमत दी है कि वो म्यूजिक को एज अ टूल यूज करें, वो हम लोग उससे तबाही फैला रहे हैं.
Exactly.
So that's not the
Everything has two ways that you can use it.
that's a tool of Satan and he's using people to do that. You can take the tool.
लेकिन उस वजह से ये बात भी समझ आती है कि कुछ लोग फिर उस चीज को completely negative क्यों समझते हैं?
ऐसे
Because उनको नजर ही वो आ रहा है.
नहीं, दिखाते ही वो है ना.
Exactly.
जो वो नेगेटिव बोलते भी हैं उनको ये समझ नहीं आती कि इसमें पॉजिटिव भी है.
जी.
मतलब अगर अल्कोहल स्वाब है तो इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि उससे शराब होती है. मतलब वो हील भी करता है, उस वूंड को साफ भी करता है. उसके बहुत सारे फायदे हैं. इसी तरह जब मैं जो तुम बात बता रहे थे उसमें मैंने म्यूजिक के बारे में स्टडी किया तो म्यूजिक इज एन अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ टू एलिमेंट्स या टू क्वांटिटीज. वन इज द टाइम.
Right.
The other one is the energy.
Right.
And if you understand energy into time is life.
Yeah.
So if I tell you that you are the energy in time, which will be, you know, after 60, 70 years, there'll be no energy left and the time will eliminate, that's your life. And then somebody comes up and say, this is haram. This understanding is haram. मतलब यार मुसलमान को पैदा इसलिए किया कि वो समझे, और हम लोग वो हैं कि हमने अकल पर्दा डाल के बोलते हैं कि नहीं समझो.
हाँ बिल्कुल, it doesn't make sense.
So for those people who call music haram and you know say that music is sacrilege, one should not learn music. मैंने बड़ी स्टडी किया, देखा कि आप जाएं घर में तो बेटा 5 मिनट लेट हैं, बेटा आधे घंटे के अंदर ये क्वेश्चन करना है. तो रियलाइज यार ये आधे घंटे का टाइम, ये 5 मिनट का टाइम, ये 1 सेकंड लेट हो, ये किसको पता है. So unless you study time, and there is no subject in the world which will teach you the time study. So the only subject which teach you the sense of time is music.
Wow.
मतलब मैंने आज तक कोई और सब्जेक्ट नहीं देखा जिसमें सेंस ऑफ टाइम आपको समझ आती हो. बाकी जितने भी आर्ट फॉर्म है, जैसे पेंटिंग है, स्कल्पचर है, उसमें देयर इज नो सेंस ऑफ टाइम. ओनली म्यूजिक इज टेम्परल इन नेचर. द रेस्ट ऑफ देम आर ऑल यू नो परफॉर्मेंस वाइज या जो भी आप कह लो उनको, बट इट डजंट रिक्वायर टाइम. म्यूजिक विदाउट टाइम इज नॉट म्यूजिक. So
yeah, I mean that's a very powerful idea actually, and also because maybe this is something that can relate it to the idea that music can heal.
One more thing I want to add. The reason why our country or the people of this country are so disorganized is because they do not understand the sense of time. They are not sync. The synchronization है ना, वो stems when you understand what time is. गोरे ये अपने बच्चों को सिखाते हैं कि जब जो 8 बच्चे हैं या 50 बच्चे हैं, how do you play together the same thing in one time or one beat? We don't. हमारे तो अज़ानें भी जो होती हैं, एक मौलवी यहाँ पे बोल रहा होता है, थोड़ी देर बाद शुरू होता है, फिर तीसरा वहाँ पे शुरू होता है. हम तो हमें पता ही नहीं कि टाइम क्या होता है. फिर उसके बाद बोल रहे हैं हम दुनिया से पीछे रह गए. तो कहाँ जाना है बेटे आपने?
हाँ, और हमें पता नहीं है कि रमज़ान का चांद आया है या नहीं आया, शुरू कब होना है.
वो सेंस ऑफ टाइम नहीं है ना, आपके अंदर से मिसिंग है.
Yeah. No, that's a very powerful idea, but I want to segue into music as a tool for healing. So how did that become what you do?
Actually, you know, I was just going through the books, Tumhari Upar, just reading what the title is. So there was this thing called, you know, the human frequency or something along those lines, the human vibration, कोई किताब थी ऊपर. तो उस पे मैंने मतलब I was happy that I actually saw that in your collection, but I've been studying that since past 10-12 years. like everything has a fundamental frequency.
Yes.
Like the rose has a fundamental frequency, which we call the trace of the rose, the smell of the rose, the color of the rose, and that's why it's rose.
Yeah.
Because uski jo light frequency hai, wo ek certain element hai, which you can call it as 463 nanohertz. That is the vibration of the light spectrum that I'm talking about. So I've studied it. So 463 nanohertz, आपकी light frequency है, फिर आपकी जो aromatic frequency है वो एक अलग है. तो हर चीज़ की एक frequency है. इंसानों की भी frequencies हैं.
बिल्कुल.
और जो इंसानों की frequencies हैं, they come in different patterns because we all are receivers. They are not transmitters. You know what I mean by transmitters are like जो जुगनू होता है या firefly होती है, it's a transmitter. A spider is a transmitter. It transmits.
I mean, like the guy who I've learned a lot from on this subject is Nikola Tesla. का जो काम. I mean, he always used to say that we are receivers and transmitters.
That is the second thing that I'm coming to.
What you're going to transmit depends on what you absorb, right?
बिल्कुल सही बात. अब देखो when I said that we are not inherently transmitters, is because if you notice that when a child is born, the first sense that he develops within the womb is your listening. बोलना तो बाद में आता है ना, आवाजें भी बाद में निकालते हैं, पहले आप सिर्फ सुनते हो. मैं ये समझता हूँ कि जो idea of listening है, it should be inculcated in every personal individual life before they learn how to speak. And again with the same transmitter idea कि भाई receiving सही होगी तो transmission सही होगी ना. अब यहाँ पे लोगों ने receiving ही नहीं सही रखी.
बिल्कुल.
You are not.
Culture में देखे ना, you put on the TV, 10 लोग बैठे हैं, बहस कर रहे हैं, सब एक के ऊपर से बात करने की कोशिश कर रहा है, कोई सुन नहीं रहा है दूसरे.
नहीं, ये मैंने वैसे देखा है कि बाहर भी, मतलब even when you study abroad, they only have a very limited way of listening. And the frequencies are also like, for example, there are 88 notes in the musical hemisphere to listen to. But altogether there are 19,980 units that you're missing out.
Right.
So imagine मैं बोलूँ 19,980 को छोड़ के 88 ले लो बस. ये तुम्हारे काम आएंगे. जो 19,980 है वो किसी काम नहीं आएंगे. There comes the idea of the listening and healing. कि जो इंसान की vibrations है ना वो 19,980 units पे, I'm talking about the integers, पे काम आती है. 88 units पे काम नहीं आती. समझ आती है वो इस तरह से कि your ability to listen is 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz.
Right.
When we're dealing with ESP kids or people who have sensory discordant, sensory issues, people who are on the spectrum, when you study them, you realize that 20,000 hertz जो है ना वो एक figure है. It goes down and up any direction they want. And these kids, they're gifted.
They can go beyond.
They can go beyond, they can go below. So ये जो बच्चे जिनको हम बोलते हैं कि यार ये special needs हैं या इनके अंदर disabilities हैं, they have actually special abilities that people don't want them to understand.
Absolutely.
And they cap them through giving them drugs, to sending them to different institutions. यार इनको ये सिखाओ red क्या होता है, ये बताओ ये block है, ये circle है. यार if you don't know, I mean imagine that at this point in time there is nothing which in nature which is pure round. Everything has a shape. Which is slightly deviating. So if you look at nature, there is nothing which is pure. Like a square is not pure, a circle is not pure. So why are you looking for pure things? अगर तुम दूध भी निकालते हो गाय के अंदर से तो उसमें भी पानी होता है और कई impurities होती हैं. तो भाई impurities are part of us. We have to study them to understand who we are. So healing stems with this idea of accepting impurities as a power tool for every individual. Not to look at them and like बिचारे. ऐसे नहीं है. They're not बिचारे. They are people you should study.
They have abilities different, beyond yours perhaps. Right?
No, definitely beyond mine. Because the people I work with, they make me realize that I'm so far behind. You know, these people are way ahead. एक बच्चा आता है मेरे पास, यार, he's gifted. मतलब in fact मैं उसको एक चीज़ बताता हूँ, देखो ऐसे बजाना है. He knows it next time. मैं उसको चीज़ सुनाता हूँ यार कि देखो ये बज रही हुई है, उसको कॉर्ड वॉर्ड सब आते हैं, उसको वही चीज़ बजा देता है. एग्जैक्टली. फिर जो ड्रमर्स हैं, ऐसे स्पेशल बच्चे हैं, वो ड्रमर्स हैं, मैं बैठा होता हूँ उनको देख रहा होता हूँ कि ये बीट कैसे बजा रहा है ये आदमी. He's playing some polyrhythms that I've never heard ever. And he from his,
innately,
and he's like probably 7-year-old and completely like from the world that we see. He's not talking, non-communicative, he's not cognitive, whatever they call it, whatever. But the things that he's doing for me is a learning tool for everyone in this world. लेकिन हमने उनको लेबल कर दिया. फिर हम उनको स्कूल ढूंढते हैं कि वहाँ पे कोई एक्सेप्ट कर ले उनको. फिर स्कूल्स में वो टीचर ढूंढते हैं जो उनको अच्छी तरह गुजार दे वो टाइम.
व्हाट इज टिपिकली योर प्रोसेस? मतलब अगर कोई बच्चा नया आता है आपके पास, सो हाउ डू यू गेट टू नो देम, हाउ डू यू इवैल्यूएट कि उनके ये एबिलिटीज किस तरह की हैं और इसको किस तरह हैंडल करना है?
बिल्कुल सही बात है. बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग क्वेश्चन है, बड़ा लंबा क्वेश्चन भी है. यू कैन एक्चुअली राइट बुक्स एंड राइट डॉक्यूमेंट्रीज ऑन दैट, बट थिंग व्हिच आई एम जस्ट गोइंग टू लाइक पुट इन अ नटशेल. So I told you about the fundamental frequency. I gave the fundamental frequency. I gave the temporal sense or the rhythmic sense. And based on these two properties, I work with them. And then eventually I realized that this is how I can actually connect with them. So I established a communication channel.
Right.
And through this, he follows every instruction that I'm giving. And that works.
So with that initial kind of diagnosis, does that lead you to say कि अच्छा इसको कोई rhythmic instrument पकड़ाना चाहिए या इसको गिटार पकड़ाना चाहिए या मतलब how does that choice?
हाँ नहीं बिल्कुल सही बात है. Innately we have both the spectrums working for us.
Yeah.
So ऐसे कोई नहीं होता कि एक बंदा जो है वो सिर्फ pitch समझता है या एक बंदा सिर्फ rhythm समझता है या time समझता है. ऐसा नहीं होता. They are like they have understanding of both. But of course, at the stage where I'm seeing him, I have to see whether I need to drain him first or I need to subject him to some kind of expression. So draining involves shouting, screaming, banging, pounding, jumping.
अच्छा मतलब निकालो
अंदर
भड़ास निकालो.
बिल्कुल निकालो. और मैं उनको हर टूल देता हूँ to get. If you come to my school, you'll probably be मतलब you've been to my school. So there are like all types of instruments. I think I've got the biggest collection of instruments.
Absolutely, I can vouch for that.
मैंने
कहीं नहीं देख.
तो वो जो इंस्ट्रूमेंट है वो इसलिए नहीं कि लोगों को इम्प्रेस करना है कि देखो कितना अच्छा कूल आदमी हूँ मैं.
They're all tools.
They're all tools for people who lack expression, so they can actually find expression in whatever they're doing in their lives.
And what's maybe an example of someone who's come in very kind of limited in their expression and you've ended up making a massive
Shall I tell you the name?
difference?
If that makes sense.
Shayan
Faisal.
I knew it.
So yeah, well, the first time this guy came
I've
over.
I've seen the difference.
The first time he came over, all the teachers like we can't take him. Yeah. And I'm like, what the hell, man? This guy is innately genius. I mean, you just talk to him. And he knew everything about everyone and wanted to learn everything from everyone. But of course, he has limitations. And those limitations were physiological in nature. They were not really mental. His hands were like, a little... बच्चा है यार, बच्चों में तो होता है ये सब चीजें. So I never look at them as impediments. I thought of it that maybe like bad strings, yeah, maybe not a very cool guitar, but eventually he'll do that. And today when I see his videos, whenever somebody talks to me about where he is at, I feel so proud. It's not even funny. लेकिन अभी बहुत सारे बच्चे और भी हैं जिनकी जिंदगियां बदली हैं. एक उसमें से मुर्तजा भी है. He's one of my students who is actually a piano prodigy. मतलब he can play all Western music from A to Z. And any modern music, you just make him listen to it, he'll play it.
Wow.
The only thing I did that got him or Shan to this point is the idea of that, yes, you can do it. Yes, I know that this is not a disability. That's the only thing I did. I mean, beyond that, मैं क्या कर सकता हूँ?
They just need to be reassured.
Absolutely. हर बंदा जो म्यूजिशियन है, अगर उसमें पेशेंस हो अगले बंदे के लिए, वो तो अगले बंदे को पता नहीं कहाँ से कहाँ लेके जा सकता है. Because he knows how to respond. मतलब improvisation भी यही होती है. You listen to somebody, you respond. And the moment you respond, the other person says, यार सही बोला है इसने. समझ आती है? तो response और listening जो है ना, वही improvisation है, वही इन बच्चों के साथ काम करने का तरीका भी है.
बिल्कुल.
So I'm improvising all the time, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I mean that's what we're doing.
No.
It's beautiful. I mean, Shayan actually has he sent in questions for you as well.
No.
But
I love you. If that doesn't make sense, but I tried everything for him to actually make sure that he waver from this path, and I'm so proud of him that he's still there and still doing what he wants to do. I love it.
That's amazing. So I think on this note we will take some audience questions. Pehle, off camera, you were mentioning this thing that you did of tuning your pianos for 10 plus years. Just share that with us. Like, this is something really interesting, how to own your basically it's like bodybuilding for your ear.
Yeah, air building. I call it air building. So there was a student of mine in CS school, नाफे नाम था उसका. उसकी जो दादी थी ना, so उसके पास एक पियानो पड़ा था बेसमेंट में. पानी वानी लगा हुआ था उस पर, बिल्कुल फारिग था वो पियानो. So she gifted that to me. Okay, it's a gift for you. And I took that to my house. And for about 8 months, I was on that piano trying to see what this piano is about. And in the end, I had to like take all the strings out, all the knuckles out, and put them back in. It took me eight months. The second piano I tuned or I fixed, it took me about 2 days. The third piano I fixed, it took me three hours, and then hour and a half, and that's how I kind of picked up the speed
progressively.
of. So what I was telling you that my thing was I still am an instrument director. कोई instrument मुझे टूटा फूटा नजर आता है ना, तो मैं वो कहता हूँ मुझे दे दो, मैं सही कर दूंगा. जितने पैसे मांगते हैं दे भी देता हूँ, कभी कभार फ्री मिल जाते हैं.
It reminds me, आपने चलो दिया था वो भी आपसे वापस सेट कराना है.
हाँ नहीं कोई वो तो anything for you man. I mean because see once I meet somebody who is like-minded, souled, like-hearted person, तो फिर मैं तो उसके लिए कुछ भी कर सकता हूँ मैं. तो वही वाली बात है कि मैंने जब वो ट्यून करता रहा, मैं चीज़ों को सही करता रहा, रिपेयर करता रहा, तो मुझे वो चीज़ें जो है ना, so they paid back by showing me how they work.
Yeah.
So everybody knows that I play so many instruments.
Yeah.
To tell you the truth, I actually brought back so many instruments back to life. And that's how I can play all of these instruments. Because once you help anything to come back to life, to start speaking to you, then it does speak to you. So that's my theory of actually learning everything. About the pianos, I had about 13 to 14 pianos in my school, which got drowned 3 years back. And I used to tune them every day. In the morning, I used to go there and tune one piano, then the other piano, and the third piano. And there were about 200 strings, and they require a lot of effort to tune them. And I used to do that every day. So, मतलब समझो 4-5 घंटे tuning. So my ears became so sensitive to change, to beats, the beats
to
that
slightly off things.
Zara si off cheez hoti hai, I just stop everything. I have to tune this. मेरे अंदर ये भी एक problem है. अगर कोई चीज़ गलत बज रही हो या जरा सी off हो, तो I just stop everything. I fix that, and then I do the rest of the thing. I can't ignore it. So that's the reason why I'm probably a little anal about playing as well with other people, because I can't tolerate those beats difference, जरा सा वो off भी होता है ना, मुझे मेरा कान को चुभ रहा होता है, अंदर जाके लग रहा होता है कहीं जाके. तो that helped me a lot with diagnosing people, with understanding them, with talking to them and communicating through them. So bas, that helped me in my therapies too.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I've also noticed with especially abled children and people that it always feels like something is bothering them and they're not able to put it across, and so I guess you can relate to them better because
so one of my students, his name is Alamdar. He's coming since 12 years now. I mean he's been my student since 10-12 years. तो वो ना जब पंखा देखता था ना, he used to do this. मतलब and all of the people were like, don't do that, what are you doing? He could see the air rotating in there.
Wow.
So मतलब imagine when sound turns into light. So he had this overlapping, it's called synesthesia. It's a term for so synesthesia बोलते हैं इसको, लेकिन उसकी वो जो overlapping of senses जो थी ना, that got him to this point where I had to study him to understand what he's into. And gradually मतलब he is a genius. I mean as far as I know, because मैंने बताया ना इतने सारे नाम है, किसका बताऊँ मैं, उसको एक दफ़ा कोई चीज़ सुन जाए ना, he'll take it out on any other instrument. He's a natural drummer, natural player, natural percussionist, gifted. लेकिन क्योंकि हमें उसको उस डब्बे में डालना है जिसमें सारी दुनिया जा रही है, तो वो डब्बे में तो फिट नहीं आ सकता, तो इसलिए उसको लेबल करना है. ये है साइंस.
नहीं, but I'm glad कि there's someone like you for such kids.
No, I love them. I actually have this place called Capa, which is like a family for them. I have all kinds of different people who are working for me and who I love them very, very dearly. क्योंकि मैं समझता हूँ कि फैमिली जो है ना, प्यार के बगैर नहीं हो सकती. इसमें मैं अपने बच्चों की तरह इनको मैं ट्रेन करता हूँ, ट्रीट करता हूँ. I let them play, perform, grow, and मतलब it's like it's a very intimate household environment over there. And we teach everyone who comes over there. It's part of the family. So बड़ा I'm happy what I'm doing, by the way. क्योंकि कभी भी नहीं ऐसे रिग्रेट हुआ कि यार ये मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ. हालांकि I got drowned, मैंने तो बताया था 2-3 साल पहले. उससे पहले भी कई सेटबैक्स हुए जिंदगी में, होते रहते हैं और होने भी चाहिए ताकि आपको पता लगे कि whether you should do this or not.
Making of a man.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Man.
Yes.
Ironically, I had the shirt in the morning. I just wore it, not because I wanted to like prove my point, but yeah,
नहीं वो
it's an ironic thing.
अल्लाह ने choose किया.
हाँ, हो भी सकता है कि आज मैं नहीं भी होता, मतलब वो आज मैं आ ही सकता है इधर.
So we have some questions from the audience, as we had put up your picture. It looked like kind of a रिश्ता picture.
जैसे बिल्कुल सही बोला. ये जो तस्वीर है ना, ये मेरी एक ही तस्वीर है जो गली में भी मेरी खींची थी. इसके बाद मेरी जिंदगी में मैंने कभी तस्वीर नहीं खिंचवाई. So
अभी हम खींच रहे हैं.
अच्छा चलो अभी खींच रहे हो, लेकिन वैसे मैंने कभी तस्वीर नहीं खिंचवाई. मतलब लाइक कभी होता है ना कि you know you pose for the camera. I can't do it. I think I'm a naturally shy guy. I don't want people to take my pictures.
क्या कहते हैं? अच्छा, question for you. This is by an Instagram account इनका, Prod by Maz. What's your opinion about the current method of producing music? Like back in 90s, we saw people learn an entire instrument theories first and then move towards producing. And today producing a track is just a click away. Like no need to learn any type of theories and go click on MIDI editor and do it until you create something good.
I think today technology is very very advanced. तो but technology तो हो गई advanced, लेकिन music गायब हो गया. तो मतलब समझो केक नहीं है लेकिन उसकी पूरी तैयारी है. तो मेरा ये ख्याल है, step back, go to the 60s and 40s and 50s and see how people jam together. And based on the sound that you guys are making together, you should just maybe find the easiest, cheapest method to record and capture the live take. Because अभी तक जो recordings पुरानी वाली है ना, अगर आप उनको सुनते हो तो उनके अंदर एक air है. That air is the reason why they sound so fresh. Abhi bhi.
Yeah, and
they're
they
not
sound
tight.
real.
Yeah, they sound. Or abhi jo Nirvana.
And you have your record collection to vouch for this.
Yeah, I listen to them all the time, like Louis Armstrong.
Yeah.
People who are big band. They were like, imagine big bands like there are 60 people playing at the same time, and they do not have like mixers and recording consoles. They probably have like 2-3 microphones that they're capturing everything. So they place them at the place where they sound the best.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's about it. That should be it.
Yeah.
The most important thing is not the technology, is the people who are making the sound.
Absolutely.
They should be together. वो technology तो किसी भी तरह की वो हो जाती है. Unplugged जो थे निर्वाणा के या Alice in Chains के, मतलब उनके लिए कोई इतनी खास टेक्नोलॉजी तो नहीं थी, बस माइक्रोफोन थे और लोग थे जो बजा रहे थे.
और
they were captured.
मतलब इतनी उनकी जो केमिस्ट्री थी वही आपको अभी तक
लाइव यार. अभी वो जो एक स्नाकी पपी एक बैंड है, they do live. मतलब उनकी कोई वो नहीं है कि जी आपने ये करना है, म्यूट करना है, वो म्यूट करना है. They have a sound. They put microphones around and they capture it. I think less is more. You know, the less you probe in, the better you get the results of.
And this is Shayan's question. Sir, what's your most favorite instrument you play?
So yeah, I mean, I play every instrument. I think जैसे वो पूछ रहे हैं आपको खाने में क्या पसंद है, तो भाई जरूरी तो नहीं कि एक ही दिन आप रोज मूड की बात है, लेकिन ये कि मुझे wind instruments बहुत पसंद है. And the reason why I like the wind instrument is because I feel that I can hear myself from inside. My breath comes out and interacts with me. So मुझे वो इसलिए मेरे लिए as a player या as somebody who wants to study myself, I think it's a very it'll give you so much insight about who you are. Wind instruments.
Wow, that's fascinating. Thank you so much. This has been
welcome.
a
Thank you
real
for
pleasure
inviting
and really interesting. और इस तरह की बातें और किसी के साथ नहीं हुई.
होनी भी नहीं चाहिए, लेकिन I hope कि हो इंशाल्लाह. ऐसा भी हो सकता है.
नहीं और इंशाल्लाह हम भी और चीज़ें करेंगे. But thank you for watching and staying with us, and please go visit Capa and support their work. And if you have anyone you know who's specially abled or has the need for some musical healing, that's the place to go. So do share your comments, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.